Oh no, one of your employees just asked for a raise. Yes, you got to give them more money, or at least that's what they're expecting. I'm Ron Ramsey. I'm a DYB coach, also painting contractor here in Massachusetts. If you have employees, crew members, team players, whatever you call them, they are expecting a raise. You know, been on the job long enough, you know the telltale signs. You get a text about it. You get a well, you're on a job. Hey, can I talk to you for a moment? Or you get that phone call when you're giving them directions or you're giving them something else. Oh, I wanted to ask you something. Do you have a minute? They're not asking for if you have any extra sandpaper. They're asking you if you will give them more money. And if you say no, what happens? Is the person going to work at 75% because they think overworked, they're overproducing? They saw you drive up in a new truck, so they think that they're paying for that new truck. Of course they do. But one way to keep everything on the same page so they know when they expect to get a raise is a magic 2 words. It's called job description. Every job in your company should have a job description, and these should be shared with your employees. In fact, they should be in your employee manual, and you can update them as you see, because technology and other things change, responsibilities change. You might change a job that includes two jobs, or some responsibility from one job. And you take something like The Apprentice. You'll have the job descriptions of an apprentice, whatever it may be, and then it'll have certain points for them to hit. When they hit these certain points and they've been working and they can accomplish these tasks, well, they're up for a raise. May it be 6 months, may it be a year. And then we also get some employees who enjoy just being that employee, and maybe they're just a painter. So we want to keep that. If they're not willing to touch all those new points in their job description, well, maybe they just want to be a painter. But it gives these people a chance to grow, learn new tasks, and then accelerate and be with the company. There is really no time frame for us, for employee. If we have a person who's been an apprentice for 6 months or a year, they don't automatically get a raise. They have to reach different areas in that job description and complete it, work at full capacity for so long, and then they're considered for a new job description. But I'll tell you something, it does nothing more to motivate someone, to bring them into a coffee meeting or whatever you're having, their review, and say, listen, you've been working great, you've hit every point in your job description, and it's time for you to take on a new role. If they decide they don't want to take on a new role, that's fine too. I have painters who don't want the responsibility of being a crew leader. That is perfectly fine. But there's also a pay rate. We have a range of pay in every job description. Of course, over time you have to adjust those because pay rates change, the economy changes. But we'll have overlap between the apprentice and the painter, and then the painter and the crew leader. We have overlaps in pay, so someone could actually max out. A painter could max out. We're going to say $20 an hour is a max pay for a painter. Well, they could be stuck at $20 an hour for quite some time. And unless that pay range goes up, they could be stuck at $20. The only way for them to get extra money is to take on more responsibility, which then be into the next job description. Also, if there's a question on a job, if something didn't get done, we could actually go back to the job descriptions and say, whose responsibility was that? If the crew leader or team leader or whatever you call the leader of the band of painters is not doing their job, and you have to come back and say, listen, you have to sit down and either we can call it a reprimand them or just go over the inadequacies of the job, the project, and they say it's not me, you could actually take out their job description and say, this is part of your job. So it kind of gets rid of a lot of arguments. It allows people to know who's in charge. It allows people on the job to know who's responsible for that. And just because they're a paint crew leader doesn't mean they're not responsible for sanding. As the jobs go up, they are still responsible for all those things below them. But it also takes that argument and that surprise text or the phone call or as they pull you aside when you're on a job and they ask that raise. Hey, I need a $2 an hour raise. Hey, I got an offer a job for somewhere else at $2 an hour. Unfortunately, we have to hold our ground in most cases, and bring up the job description and say, well, your range is $15 to $20 an hour. You're at $19 right now. You're doing 90% of the things. Well, maybe you can squeak out that dollar for them, or the 50 cents. And what I would also say is maybe change your raise increments to percentages. Many of my friends, colleagues who are outside the painters field, an average excellent rating on a raise is about 3%. So you look at that, at a $20 an hour raise, it'd be 60 cents. That might not be painters industry standards, but the outside world is done by percentages and not dollar amounts like the painters are. So anyways, if you're struggling giving raises, you're getting hit left and right about I want to raise, I want to raise, I want to raise. One way to curb all that is have the job descriptions. We have many job descriptions we'd love to share. If you need a job description, please, in the comment box, just send me a message, put a comment here. I'm more than happy to touch base with you and see how we can help you with some job descriptions. I hope this helped a little bit. I'm Ron Ramsden. I'm a DYB coach, also painting contractor, helping you get through the world of painting business. I hope you have a great day. Bye.